Good morning, guys. Hello and welcome to your 6 a.m. practice this morning. My name's AISHLING and I've got Helen here with me to demonstrate the flow for you today. We're going to start in a child's pose. So when you're ready, just slowly come down and get yourself comfortable for your practice. So once you arrive here, let's just take a moment to settle into your mat this morning. Allow your hips to get nice and heavy back onto the heels. And then let the whole upper body soften down onto the mat. Taking a big breath in through the nose and out of the mouth. Take a few more breaths like that, letting everything soften forward. While we take this moment to arrive, notice what you come to the mat with this morning, how you feel. Notice the breath. And then maybe ask yourself how you'd like to feel after your practice. Let yourself choose throughout the practice the ways that will serve you in meeting that feeling. Last 3 big breaths here, feeling all the way down into the belly, feel the ribs expand, feel that extra length through the spine as you breathe in, and a softening and a dropping as you breathe out. When you're ready, let's slowly start to lengthen the fingers even further forward so the elbows lift up off the mat, come into an active child pose, get longer through both sides of the waist, all the way out to the fingertips. And then when you're ready, let's start to meet up into a tabletop. So pressing through the knees, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders as you come up. It's a few slow cat-cows here when you arrive, so hands and knees underneath the shoulders and hips. Dipping the belly down, lifting the tailbone and chest as you breathe in. And then exhaling to round and press away. Take a couple more like that. Allow the spine to wake up, starting to connect movement to breath. When you're ready, come all the way back to the center. Find a neutral spine. Let's pick up the right leg and kick it out behind you. Take a breath in here. Exhale, right knee to your nose, round your spine in. Good. Breathe in, send it long. This time we take the right knee towards the right tricep, so the right upper arm, squeeze it forward, send it back behind you. One more round like that. To the nose on the exhale. Inhale, go long. Breath out to the tricep. Pause there. Step your right foot out towards the right. Directly out from your hip, nice. Then sweep your right arm up, keeping your left arm down. Take a little twist towards the right, and then we'll slide the right arm underneath the left, finding a little bit of a twist here so you can keep the head quite high, or you can walk that left hand further forward so that the face and the shoulder comes down onto the mat. 2 slow breaths here into that right leg, into the spine. It's to walk your left hand back underneath the shoulder if it's not there already. Press it down to lift the right arm up, spin it all the way back open. You take your right hand onto the mat. Then walk your hands, lift your hands up so your chest is on top of your hips. So lift your arms up. Yep, slide your right arm down your right leg, lift the left arm overhead. Reaching through the side of the waist, you spin that left shoulder open, lift the chest all the way back up. Left hand to the mat, right hand to the sky. You can keep your right foot planted down, or you might lift it up, coming into a low version of a half moon pose. Flex the toes, keep the leg long. Again, stay here or start to bend your right knee. Take a hold of the right foot with the right hand. Up to you. Breath in. Slow breath out. Take both knees back on the mat. Keep the chest lifted on top of the spine. Bring the arms up overhead. So you exhale, left arm forward, right arm back. Take a twist. Through the center, inhale. To the left, breathe out. All the way back through the middle. And then both hands onto the mat. We meet back in a tabletop. Lengthen your right leg out behind you. Sorry, left leg out behind you. To your nose on the exhale breath, round forward. Inhale, go long. To the left tricep, breathe out. Good, one more round like that. Breathing out, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, left knee, left tricep, pause there, then step your left foot out to the left. Nice, peel your left hand up as you press the left foot down, spinning the chest open. And then exhale to twist through, threading the needle. Left arm underneath the right shoulder. You could slide that right hand forward to find a little bit more space here if that feels good. A few steady breaths as you press your left foot into the floor. So bring your right hand back underneath your right shoulder. Pull the left arm back up and open. Nice, then come all the way up. Good, arms overhead. Exhale, left hand slides down, left leg, right arm rolls across, coming into the side body. Back the other way, right hand to the mat. Left leg will start to float up, flexing or pointing the toes so that leg stays nice and strong and engaged. Good. Come back through the center, drop both knees to the mat, lift the arms overhead, breathe in. Exhale, we twist towards the left. Right arm forward, left arm back. Inhale through the center, lift up. Exhale, twist right. Come all the way back through the middle. Bring your hands onto the mat. And then set up for your first down dog. So tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, drawing the chest back towards the thighs. Take a moment to just swim around in this shape, paddle out the legs. Take a second to revisit that idea of moving and breathing in ways that help you achieve a feeling, how you want to feel at the end of class. You get still here now, 2 breaths here. On your next inhale, lift your heels up nice and high. You breathe out, bend your knees. Step or walk your feet all the way up to the top of the mat. Just take a halfway lift, inhale, get longer. Exhale, fold it down. Press through the feet, sweep the arms up overhead, draw your palms together. To the mat, fold forward, breathe out. It's a halfway lift, inhale. And exhale to fold, plant the hands, step the feet back to a high plank. Good. Let's shift the weight forward, lengthen through the crown of the head, and then drop the knees to the mat. Squeeze the elbows in as you lower, modified chaturanga all the way to the floor. It's a baby cobra as you breathe in, lift the chest up. Exhale, fold down. Bring your hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, come back, downward facing dog. A couple of breaths when you arrive. Nice, lift your heels up, bend your knees, exhale. Step or walk forward to the top of the mat. It's a halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold it down. Press through the feet, stand up, draw the palms together overhead and pause here. Float your left knee up into your chest. So squeeze the leg up. Good, and then when you're ready, step your left foot all the way to the back of the mat. So left foot all the way to the back of the mat, drop the left knee down, come into a low lunge. Good, the arms that stay lifted up overhead, square the hips, so take that right hip back and the left hip forward. Then let's hook the thumbs overhead, reach tall through the fingertips, spread them wide. As you exhale, bend over towards the right. So a little side body bend. Breathing into the left side of the ribs, keeping the spine really long. Come back through the center, release the hand. There's a half monkey pose here, sliding forward over that front leg. Hands can frame your right foot. You draw your right toes back towards your face. You can keep as much of a bend in that right knee as you need. Take one last breath here. From here, let's meet into a runner's lunge. So rebend your right knee, lift your back knee off the mat, tucking the toes and drawing the chest forward. Good, again, more space through the shoulders, through the collarbones. A tiny little bend into your back knee as you spring and step forward into a forward fold at the top of the mat. Nice, come halfway up, breathe in. Exhale, fold forward. Press the stand, draw the arms up overhead and float your right knee up into your chest. Step your right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Let's come into the low lunge again, Anjaneyasana. Right knee is on the mat. Yep, all the way down. Hook the thumbs in the opposite way this time. It will feel a bit weird. Spread the fingers wide, breathe in, and then exhale, bend over towards the left. Noticing that space between the right hip and the right shoulder grow longer as you keep rolling that right shoulder open. Come back in through the center. Exhale, half monkey pose, folding forward, slide it back. Start to rebend your left knee. It's a runner's lunge. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee up. Really strong through that right leg. And then a little spring forward, step forward, 2 feet at the top of the mat, fold forward. Take a halfway lift, inhale. Fold forward, breathe out. Sweep the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, fold all the way to the mat this time. Come halfway up, breathe in. Exhale, fold forward. Hands plant, feet step back to the edge of the mat. It's your flow this time. Knees can drop or stay lifted as you lower chaturanga towards the mat. It's either a cobra pose or an up dog if you feel ready. And a down dog as you breathe out, roll back. Spread the fingers wide. Draw the chest back towards the thighs. These heels float, lift them up. Breathe out, bend your knees. Step, walk, jump forward to the top of the mat. It's a halfway lift. And a fold, breathe out. Ground to stand, draw the palms overhead. The mat, fold forward, breathe out completely. Halfway up, inhale. Do a high plank on the breath out. Chaturanga, lower down. Cobra pose or up dog when you're ready. In a down dog, exhale, tuck the toes, roll back. Straight away, you float your right leg up towards the sky. Draw your right knee to your nose, round forward. Inhale, send it up behind you. Right knee to your right tricep. This time, squeeze across side of the waist, engages. Inhale, lift it high behind you. Right foot now steps between the palms. We'll meet into a crescent lunge. So take a moment to ground the feet and then we'll lift the arms overhead. Again, squaring the hips, so right hip back, left hip forward, and then lifting up through the waist, through the fingertips. Let's hook the thumbs, spread the fingers wide, breathe in. Bend over to the right to exhale, keeping the left shoulder rolling open. Just come back through the middle. It's an arrowhead pose here. Arms go back, chest goes forward. Lots of space through the collarbones, to the front of the chest. Lengthening out through that back leg. Keep your chest as it is. Sweep your arms forward. It's a thunderbolt pose. Arms go long. One long line from the back, heel up the waist through the fingertips. Big breath in. Stay for the breath out. Bring your hands down onto the mat. Step your right foot back. To your flow from here. Any way you'd like to move this morning. Lowering down. Back bend on the inhale. And the down dog as you exhale, tuck and roll back. Pause for 2 breaths here. Left leg lifts up towards the sky. Draw knee to nose, round forward. Inhale to lift. Left knee, left tricep, squeeze it in. Send it high, inhale. High crescent line, use the next breath out to step forward. Press down through the feet and then lift all the way up. Nice. And squeeze the heels towards each other, then hook your thumbs in the opposite way this time. Spread your fingers wide, breathing in. Exhale, lean over towards the left. And come back through the middle. Release the hands and the chest forward, arrowhead pose. Really long and straight through that back leg. And also energy through the fingertips if someone's pulling your hands towards the back of the room. Just keep everything else as it is. Sweep your arms forward, a thunderbolt pose. Go long through the waist, long through the fingertips. Let's take the hands down onto the mat, step the left foot back, add a flow here if you'd like. Always welcome to skip these out if that suits you better this morning. Good, float your right leg up. It's time we step straight forward into a warrior 2. Pivot the back foot down, open out the arms. And a nice deep lunge into your right knee. Taking the gaze forward for the strong arms. Nice, press down through the feet. Flip the front palm, straighten the front leg. It's reverse Trikonasana. Maybe seeing that length through the right side of the waist. And then let's bring this into a triangle pose. So send the hips back, reach the fingertips forward. Yeah, adjust your feet to make it more of a better position for you, and then come all the way down. Keep spinning the ribs up towards the ceiling. So right rib slides under as the left ribs roll up. Tiny little bend into that front knee. Good. Last breath here together. We'll start to find a little bend into the right knee, and we're going to float forward into a half moon pose. So if you have a block at home, welcome to use that. Bringing the right hand either forward onto the mat or onto the block as you float your left leg up. Flexing the left toes, engaging all the way through the left leg. Just find your balance here as you really press down through that right big toe. When you're ready, we'll step back into Skandasana with control. So we're going to bend deeply into that left knee. You can come all the way down or stay higher up if that feels good for you. Keeping the length of the spine, flexing the right toes towards the face. Squeeze your heels towards each other and then use that squeeze to take you forward. Let's come into a twisted runner's lunge. So we're rebending the right knee all the way back to the top of the mat. Keep your left hand down, peel your right hand high. Nice. Get really long and straight through that left leg. You spin the chest up towards the roof. Good. From here, let's take the hand down to frame the right foot, step it back, high plank. If you'd like, you could take this into a 3-legged flow, or any way you'd like to move, find your way all the way back to a down dog. This left leg lifts, breathing in. Step it forward, warrior 2 as you exhale out. Pivot the back foot down and open. Nice. Settle in here for 2 steady breaths, deep bend into that left knee. Keep guiding it slightly towards the left. Nice. Foot the front palm, straighten the front leg, lift up and back. Reverse Trikonasana, get long through the left side of the waist. And then find your way into a triangle pose. So again, you could adjust the distance between your feet. So tip the hips back, reach the fingertips forward, and then bring that left hand down. Thinking about heart towards the roof. So there's a little bit of a twist through the spine as you lift up. Keep that squeeze between the heels. Just one breath in. Stay, breathe out. The next exhale will float you forward into a half moon pose. So again, you might like to use a block here. Bringing the left hand down as you float the right leg up. Just flexing the toes. Finding that balance, that focus here. And last one in. Gently step your right foot to the back of the mat, come into Skandasana, bending deeply into the right knee. Find a little squeeze of that left heel into the mat, a little bit of traction there as you flex your left toes towards the face. 2 steady breaths. Heels squeeze, then use that squeeze to slide forward, come into a twisted runner's lunge back at the top of the mat. So the right hand will stay down, left hand will peel. Nice. And twist through the middle part of the spine. Take your left hand to the floor, step it back out of flow. We meet in down dog. Take your time to arrive there. Good. When you do arrive, let's pause for about 5 breaths. So take a moment to reconnect to a smooth breath. Last 2 here. And so we'll start to link these 2 sequences together and add in for one last time a few extra options as we flow through this part. Float your right leg up towards the sky. Take your right knee to your nose, squeeze forward, round forward. Nice. Inhale, send it back up behind you. Right knee to your right tricep this time. If you have a Kundalini in practice, you're welcome to go there. Inhale, lift it back up when you're ready. Right foot steps between the palms, come into a high crescent lunge, grounding through the feet to lift up. Nice, a big breath in. Soften into the right knee as you breathe out. Hook the thumbs, lengthen up. And then exhale, bend towards the right. Through the middle, lift up, breathe in. Arrowhead pose, breathe out. Really long here. Let's keep that length through the back leg. Sweep the arms forward. Starting to shift your weight forward now into that right foot. You can bring the hands to the heart or keep them as they are. Get really heavy into the front foot, float the left foot up, come into a warrior 3 pose here. So hips stay square, back foot flexes. Nice. Beautiful. Get really long from the heel to the crown of the head. One last breath here. The exhale steps us back to a warrior 2. Pivoting the back foot down to open. Is flip the front palm, lift up, lift back, reverse Trikonasana. To a triangle pose, shift forward. When you're ready, adjust as needed. So you can stay in this version of a triangle pose. If you'd like, you could take a half bind, or you could reach both arms forward on an angle. So we're bringing a little bit more work to the core to twist. Beautiful. One more breath in. Stay, breathe out. Half moon pose is your next exhale. Float your way up. Again, there's a few options here. If you'd like, stay just as you are, that's perfect. Otherwise, you could bend that top knee, find Shavasana or any other variation of the shape that you like to practice. Something that feels opening. Really good balance. One last breath together. If you've got that top leg, gently release it. Let's step all the way back to Skandasana at the back of the mat, bending deeply into your left knee. If you'd like, you could plant your left hand down in front of the left shin and peel the right arm up. Find a little twist, a little opening through the chest. Nice, just one breath together. Your next exhale will take you to the top of the mat in a twisted runner's lunge. Slide forward, left hand down, right hand lifts. You might like to stay just as you are here, or you could step back into any version of a side plank. So that might mean dropping the left knee to the mat and spinning the right leg back, or you could keep both legs long as you step and lift. Nice, getting lift through that bottom side of the waist. Wherever you are, take your right hand onto the mat, and then we'll add a flow here your way back to down dog. Lots of breath as you move. Big breath in together. Next time you breathe out, open the mouth to sigh out. Nice, and again like that, breathe in. Exhale out. Float your left leg now up towards the sky. Knee to nose, exhale, round forward, squeeze in. Nice, send it high, breath in. To the tricep left side, if you'd like, you could add an arm balance. When you're ready, slide it up and back, breathe in. Three-legged down dog. The next exhale steps you forward into a crescent lunge. Step the foot between the palms, take the arms overhead, lifting up when you're ready. Nice, a little bend into that front knee and then hook the thumbs together. Breathe in to lengthen, breathe out to bend towards the left. You start to lift back through the middle, inhale. Arrowhead, breath out, go long. This lower body stays, arms reach forward into a thunderbolt pose, reaching through the fingertips to the sides of the waist. Then you might stay with your arms long, or if it feels better for you, bring your hands together at the chest. Send your weight into your left foot, start to float the right leg up. It's a warrior three pose, the hips are square. Nice, the chest goes long. Steady breath in for last breath together. Step it back to a warrior two. Nice, open out. Good, deep bend into your left knee, soften down. Flip the front palm straight and the front legs, you lift up and back. Trikonasana, triangle pose, come forward, shifting the left arm down and the right arm up. Again, your choice once you arrive, so take whatever variation you took on the other side here. And when you go into that shape, notice what happens to your breath. Can you still breathe smoothly? Allow yourself to be in a position that supports that steady breath. Your next exhale will glide you forward into a half moon pose. So floating up and lifting the right leg up. So if you took Chapasana or any other shape on the other side, again, feel free to go there now. Find something that feels opening through the body. So when you're ready, gently release that right foot, step it all the way to the back of the mat, Skandasana, bending into your right knee, and all the way down. Nice, maybe you plant that right hand down, peel the left arm up, feel the spine spin and twist. We then bring both hands onto the mat, shift your weight back forward to the top. It's a twisted runner's lunge at the top of the mat. Again, either staying here or finding your version of a side plank Vashisthasana. Maybe that bottom knee drops as you slide the leg back. Healing up as you lift the right side of the waist away from the floor. Please take your right hand to the mat. One final flow here. Slow, steady breath as you move. Next, down dog for the next 4 steady breaths. So on your next breath in, let's lift the heels up and then bend your knees, a step, walk or jump forward to the top of your mat. Okay, so let's come into a forward fold when you arrive. So allow your feet to come hips distance apart. You can bend your knees as much as you'd like. Any version here, so hands can be dangling forward. You can hold the elbows, find a shape that feels lengthening through the spine as you let the head and neck soften. Gently release any bind you have of the hands, and then release slowly, roll your spine up into the stand. Draw your arms up overhead, and then bring your hands to your heart. Start to float your left knee up into your chest. Left knee lifts. Good. Flexing the toes. We're going to come into a figure 4 shape. So we'll cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Hands together at the heart. When you're ready, you can sit the hips back, finding a deep bend into the right knee. Maybe the forearms come onto the shins or the hands to the mat. Take it where you'd like for the next few moments, finding breath. Beautiful. If you have an arm balance, absolutely welcome to go there. Nice. Last breath together. From here, let's slide the left leg all the way over the top of the right, so your legs are crossed. So left foot comes onto the mat, and then just fold forward. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. Really welcome to stay here. If you feel like getting fancy this morning, you could come into a cross-legged crow pose from here, bringing the hands forward and then bending the elbows. Sometimes keeping the hook of the ankles creates a little bit more leverage for you to come up into that shape. So you can give it a try if you'd like. So then slowly come back to standing. Let's unravel the feet. So unravel your feet, stand back up. Good. Close the eyes down and then pause for a few breaths here. Grounding through the feet, lifting through the spine. Cool. Right foot floats up into the chest. Hands can come to the heart if that helps you balance. And then cross the ankle over the top of the thighs, sit the hips down, back into that figure four shape. Take it where you will. You might stay upright, you might fold forward. Again, if you'd like to come into the arm balance, really welcome to do that too. Nice. When you're ready, slowly stand up and then slide your right leg over the top of the left, folding forward from the hips and bending your knees as much as you need for you to arrive in that forward fold. Again, there's that option for a crow pose here. If you want to add that in, go for it. We'll all come back to standing, so slowly lift up and then unravel your feet. Take a big inhale in, fold to the mat as you breathe out. Plant the hands, step the feet into a high plank. Good, and then when you're ready, just slowly lower all the way down onto your belly. So once you arrive laying on your belly, just take a moment. You can lay in any position that feels comfortable with the whole front part of your body connect down onto the mat. And the belly rise and fall as it presses into the earth. Nice. From here, let's bring the hands beside the hips with the palms facing down. The tops of the feet press down into the floor to start. Front of the legs start to engage and shins pull away from the mats. Then from there, let's lift the chest, so head and shoulders lift up away from the mat. If you're ready, float your fingertips up and float your feet. Come all the way up into a full Shalabhasana locust pose. Again, finding that length from the toes to the head. Reaching longer for one last breath. Gently release to lower. As the body rests back on the mat, you might feel like you need to move your hips around or create some movement through that lower back. So do that if you'd like. One more round of locust pose here. So you can reset the feet, press them down into the mat, tops of feet press down, lift the chest up, lift the fingers, lift your feet, float all the way up, and then refine that lift, find that length. Again, noticing what happens with the breath when you do lift up. Can you still breathe steady? Last one in. Gently release, breathe out. Again, any movement, wiggles you need, take that. Good, we'll take one last round of a back bend here. So you could stay with locust pose. If you prefer, you could bend your knees, take a hold of the feet or ankles and come into a bow pose. So the choice is yours this morning. Find what works for you. When you're ready, come on up. Lifting high, staying with that breath for the next 3, 2, 1. Wherever you are, gently lower all the way back to the mat. Take a moment to reset. From here, bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes, come back to a down dog for a moment, lifting up and back. One last little bit of work before we start to slow down even further. You take your forearms down onto the floor to come into a dolphin pose here. As you're squeezing the belly in, pressing your forearms into the mat. If you like, you can bring your feet nice and close to your face. Just find what works for you this morning. Can we stay for the next few breaths here? Pressing the ground away for the last two. Breathing in, breathing out, last one. When you're ready, come into a child's pose. The knees will drop. The arms can go long. If you prefer to come into the closed knee version of this, do that. Five breaths here. Hips heavy, spine long. Noticing any shifts or changes in the body since we took this pose at the start of class. 'And when you're ready, let's walk the hands up towards the shins. We'll just sit to one side of the hips and swing the legs around. So legs long towards the top of your mat and the heels up towards the top edge. As we'll slowly lower down onto our backs from here. So shuffle forward to the top, take your arms long, reach your fingertips forward, and then squeeze the belly in. Let's lower down for 3, for 2, for 1. Come all the way down. Might feel nice to squeeze the knees up into the chest when you do arrive there. Take a little wriggle from one side to the other. Good, then plant your left foot down onto the mat. Cross your right ankle over the top of the left thigh. You might stay here. You might lift your hands behind the back of your left thigh or shin, just staying with that figure 4 shape. So up to you, whatever version of this shape you're in, can you keep actively pressing your right knee away and drawing your left leg towards your body. Head and shoulders are heavy towards the mat. Space and breath into the outside of the right hip. Gently release the bind of the hands. Take the left foot onto the mat and then slide your right leg all the way over the top of the left, coming into twisted roots. So right leg slides all the way over the top of the left. Arms come to a T, we'll find a twist. Couple of breaths in this twist, finding more space again through the spine as you inhale and softening as you breathe out. More depth in the twist. Legs slowly draw all the way back through the center, hug them in, unstack the knees, squeeze in, and then we'll just swap sides. So right foot to the mat, left ankle over the top. It's a figure 4 from here. Your shape, you might find a bind of the hand. Left knee presses away, right knee draws in to create a little bit more sensation through the outside of the left hip. Okay, so release that, release the hands, take the right foot onto the mat, slide the left leg over the top, bring the arms to a T to find a twist. Taking 4 full breaths in this twist. Slowly start to draw your body back through center. Draw your knees into your chest one last time, squeeze them in. And then when you're ready, extend your legs long on the mat. We have one last shape before we rest. So from here, I want you to take your hips, basically lift them up, shift them over to the right side of your mat. Hips shift over towards the right. See, legs go long towards the bottom left corner of your mat. So take your legs across. You could stack the right leg on top of the left if that feels good. And then arms go up overhead towards the top right, left corner. So you're in a little banana asana shape, a little crescent moon, pressing out through the right side of the body. Take a couple of breaths here. And finding more length and space all the way along that right lateral side. Slowly draw your body back through the center, and then hips lift over towards the left. So take them all the way across the left side of your mat. Feet go bottom right, arms go top right. That left leg might stack on top of the right to create more sensation. Allowing the body to get soft and heavy here, so letting go of any control. Starting to slow down. Bring your legs back through the center. Now shift back into the middle of your mat. Tug the knees back into the chest for one last time. We'll take a little inversion here, happy baby pose if you'd like. Keep a hold of the outside blades of the feet. Let the knees go wide, falling towards the underarms. It can feel nice to stay still here, or if you'd like, take a little rock from one side to the other. When you're ready, slowly release your legs down. If there's any other movement or shape that's calling you this morning, another twist, back bend, anything at all, please feel free to take that now before we do rest. And then once you're ready, arms and legs go long. Pick up as much space as you'd like. If you're at home and you'd like to get a blanket or pop something warm on, do that. And then once you're down on your mat, let's take a big breath in together, in through the nose, out of the mouth. And again, like that, breathing in, sigh it out. Every exhale from here lets your body get softer and heavier into the mat, into the earth. The next few moments, nothing else needs to happen. If you need a little bit more time here this morning, welcome to stay and rest for as long as you like. Ready to start to come back into the body, wiggle the toes and the fingers. Maybe take a little roll through the head and the neck. It would feel quite nice to take the arms overhead and take a really big stretch. And when you're ready, just roll over onto whichever side you'd prefer. Eventually, we'll all meet in a seated position towards the front of your mat. We'll bring the hands together at the heart in Anjali Mudra. Thank you for taking the time to show up and practice together this morning. Namaste.